From asceticism to enlightenment. From Siddhartha to the Buddha. What did Siddhartha discover? In the previous episode, we witnessed the moment when a prince abandoned everything and walked into the forest. 29-year-old Siddhartha was no longer a prince. He had become a wandering seeker with nothing. The magnificent palace, his beloved family, and the secure future of a throne were all left behind. In his hands he carried only a begging bowl, on his back a worn robe, and in his heart there was only one question. How can human beings escape suffering? Today's story is about a man who held on to that question for 6 long years. Let us follow his journey and see what awaited him at the end. Chapter 1. Searching for a teacher. The first thing Siddhartha did after leaving the palace was to search for a teacher. At that time, ancient India was filled with wandering philosophers and spiritual teachers. Siddhartha sought out those who were considered the greatest, masters of meditation and wisdom. The first teacher he visited was Alara Kalama. Alara Kalama taught that through deep meditation, one could reach a profound state of consciousness, known as the sphere of nothingness, a level of concentration where the mind becomes completely still. Siddhartha possessed extraordinary focus. In a surprisingly short time, he reached the very level his teacher had mastered. Alara Kalama was astonished. "You have achieved the same level of understanding as I have," he told Siddhartha. "Stay here and teach together with me." But Siddhartha gently shook his head. The meditation was peaceful and deeply calm. Yet once the meditation ended, suffering returned. This practice could temporarily quiet the mind, but it did not answer his fundamental question. So Siddhartha continued his search. He then went to another renowned teacher, Uddaka Ramaputta. There he learned even deeper meditative states. Once again, Siddhartha quickly mastered what others spent years trying to achieve. But once again, the answer he sought did not appear. And so, Siddhartha set out alone once more. Chapter 2. The path of extreme asceticism. After failing to find the answer from teachers, Siddhartha tried a completely different path. At that time, many people in India believed that extreme ascetic practices were the key to spiritual awakening. The harsher the suffering inflicted on the body, the purer the soul would become. Siddhartha decided to test this belief for himself. He began reducing his food intake. At first, he ate only once a day. Then he reduced it further, just a small amount each time. Eventually, he survived on almost nothing. A single grain of rice, a bean, sometimes even less. The result was devastating. His body became little more than bones and skin. When he touched his stomach, he could feel his spine through it. His hair fell out. His skin wrinkled like that of an old man. He barely had the strength to stand. 5 fellow ascetics stayed with him during this time. They believed Siddhartha would surely attain enlightenment through such extreme discipline. Years passed. 5 long years of relentless austerity. But enlightenment did not come. His body weakened, yet the mystery of suffering remained unanswered. One day, while trying to stand near a river, Siddhartha collapsed. As his consciousness faded, a memory from childhood suddenly returned to him. He remembered sitting beneath a tree as a child, quietly observing nature. In that moment long ago, he had felt a gentle and natural peace, without effort, without struggle. And suddenly, Siddhartha realized something. Extreme paths are not the answer. Pleasure was one extreme. Self-torture was the other. His luxurious life in the palace had been one extreme, and this brutal asceticism was simply the opposite extreme. The true path must lie somewhere in between. Chapter 3. Sujata's offering. Siddhartha made a decision. He would restore his strength. Around that time, a young village woman named Sujata approached the tree where Siddhartha sat. She had come to make an offering of milk rice to the spirit of the tree, hoping her wishes would be granted. When she saw the weakened ascetic sitting beneath it, she believed he was the spirit she had come to honor. With sincerity and devotion, she offered him the bowl of milk rice. Siddhartha accepted it. Slowly and gratefully, he ate. When the 5 ascetics saw this, they were shocked. "Siddhartha has fallen," they said. "He has abandoned the path of discipline and returned to indulgence." Disappointed, they left him. Now Siddhartha was completely alone, but he did not waver. Once his strength began to return, he walked to a great tree, nearby a tree that would later become known as the Bodhi tree. There he sat down and made a vow. "Until I find the answer, I will not rise from this seat." Chapter 4. The night beneath the Bodhi tree. That night, Siddhartha entered deep meditation. According to legend, a being named Mara appeared to challenge him. Mara tried to tempt him with pleasure, frighten him with terrifying visions, and fill his mind with doubt. But Siddhartha remained unmoved. In a modern interpretation, Mara represents the forces within the human mind, itself desire, fear, attachment, and self-doubt. That night, Siddhartha faced every one of them directly. He did not run away. He did not turn aside. He simply observed them with unwavering awareness. And then, as the morning star appeared in the sky, something extraordinary happened. Siddhartha awakened. He was 35 years old. Chapter 5. What he discovered. So what exactly did Siddhartha discover that night? In simple terms, it was this. Suffering does not come from the outside world alone. It arises from attachment within our own minds. We cling to what we like and try to hold on to it forever. We push away what we dislike and try to avoid it forever. But everything in the world changes. Nothing remains the same. The suffering comes from our refusal to accept that change. And at the root of that attachment lies a deeper illusion, the belief that there is a permanent, unchanging self. When that illusion dissolves, attachment loosens. And when attachment loosens, freedom becomes possible. With this realization, Siddhartha was no longer simply Siddhartha. He became the Buddha, the awakened one. He was born a prince. He abandoned everything. He wandered for 6 years. He pushed his body to the brink of death. And in the end, what he discovered was a surprisingly simple truth. Suffering arises from attachment. When attachment is released, freedom appears. Yet it took 6 years of relentless searching to discover that truth. And the insight of that one man would go on to transform the lives of millions for more than 2,500 years. In the next episode, we will explore what the Buddha taught after his enlightenment and how those teachings can still apply to our lives today. Thank you for watching until the end. Your likes, subscriptions, and notification settings are a form of support that costs nothing but helps greatly. Please continue to support this journey, and I will see you in the next episode.